People. The government is not controlling the fucking weather. Okay? Nature is in a constant state of imbalance. Nature wants there to be balance. Nature is in a constant state of imbalance. And from imbalance comes instability. And from instability comes storms. What kind of imbalances? Well, one of the first things I ever learned about meteorology is that temperature differences cause pressure differences, and those pressure differences drive winds, and the goal of those winds is to get rid of the temperature differences that cause the pressure differences to begin with. Balance, harmony. And when stress builds to intolerable levels in the atmosphere, that is how we get storms. It's how we get tornadoes. It's how we get hurricanes. Okay, so that's what I think of when I think of storms. I think of imbalance, instability, and nature trying to restore some kind of balance. Because after the storm, after the chaos has rained down, there's the harmony is restored, at least for a little bit, until the next storm comes around. But at least nature is relieved because that pressure and that intensity and that imbalance has been righted, at least for a little while. What I don't think is that the government has some sort of secret, spooky, magical tool that is somehow fueling these massive storms, that is somehow creating tornado outbreaks, that is somehow creating torrential rainfall that causes floods. Not for a second. You know why? Because I listen to and I trust science. Period. And I know with all of that science blabble that I was going on with at the beginning of this video, I probably lost about 90% of the conspiracy theorists that came to this video based on the title and are already starting on a diatribe about how I'm just a big sheep because I don't think that the government, because I don't think that HAARP is creating adverse weather conditions. Here's a, I don't know if you guys know this, but not only did HAARP have nothing to do with the weather whatsoever, but it got shut down 3 years ago. So those of you guys that are still using HAARP as an example for why these big weather things keep happening, you're fucking idiots because you don't do your research. Conspiracy nuts don't do, okay, they do research, but they do it in the wrong places. They hear something from Alex Jones or from one of their buddies, and they take their word for it because, well, they read it on the internet. It must be true. And the virus spreads and it spreads and it spreads. And you get all these videos on YouTube of people saying the government is controlling the fucking weather. Oh my God. Things in... Let me ask you a question. Okay. Let's say you believe the government caused Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey. Alright, for whatever fucking reason. Where is the logic and the government creating a storm to destroy a large swath of area, kill hundreds of people, and cause billions in property damage, just so they can open their wallets and appropriate funds to fix all the damage that they caused in the first place? Never made any goddamn sense to me whatsoever. Like, have any of you guys ever opened up a meteorology textbook, a science textbook, to try to figure out how all of this science stuff works? It's really interesting and it's really cool. And if you looked into meteorology the way that I have, I think you would be really interested because the weather is very consequential. It affects us all. A lot of us take it for granted. We just look at the weather forecast and go, yeah, but some of us look deeper into it. And I love it. I love meteorology. I love weather. And I hate it so fucking much when you get people who are so convinced that the government or something is controlling the weather. When we have tried to control the weather, we have failed. And when we have tried to control the weather, it was for benevolent purposes, like cloud seeding. We wanted to bring relief to drought-stricken areas. Didn't work all that well. And then there was another project where I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but the goal was to try to weaken the strength of tropical cyclones. Not enhance them. They were trying to weaken them, and they failed. Well, that's it. So I don't know where you guys keep getting this shit. Alex Jones, I think he was even as dopey enough to say that that somebody is creating these storms just so they can sell bottled water, and and Home Depot and Lowe's can thrive. Stupid shit like that. Guys, open up some books. Read some books. Stop listening to your nut job tinfoil hat wearing buddies on the fucking internet who think they know everything just because they think that they're ascended. And these conspiracy theorists, they think that they're thinking on a higher level, okay? And I gotta give them credit. They are trying, at the very least. They're trying to think on a higher level, but it's not a higher level. It's horse shit. Grade A, pure, unadulterated, 100% horse shit. The government is not causing hurricanes, not causing floods, and causing tornadoes. How in the name of holy fuck? Tornadoes strike the United States about 1,500 times a year. 1,500 times a year. Lightning strikes the earth millions of times per day. All right, all of these phenomena. I mean, where do you even begin? Where do you even begin to believe that the government can spin up a tornado outbreak? It's just ridiculous. I even saw one video where a guy showed a sweep of the radar before Hurricane Harvey hit Texas, and there was a burst on the radar, and he went, "There's the burst of energy right there that made Hurricane Harvey stronger." And it was just the fucking weather agency changing radar modes. That's all it was. They were changing radar modes. But, I guess that must be evidence of a big fucking energy burst to make Hurricane Harvey stronger. Oh, God. The atmosphere is always in a state of imbalance, and the goal is to restore that balance. And storms are a result of those imbalances. That is how they happen, not the fucking government. I have yet to see one compelling piece of evidence, one single shred, and I've watched a lot of these fucking dopey-ass videos on YouTube. These fear-mongering right-wing assholes. I've seen quite a few. I've not seen one single compelling piece of evidence. And you know why? Because I've read into the science of meteorology. Your average person who has not read into the science of meteorology, they're not going to know any better. They're not going to know any better. So they will see these things, these conspiracy theories, as plausible. Educate yourselves. Because once you educate yourself, you put up a blockade, a barrier to all the horse shit that comes in from the tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy nuts out there. You put up a barrier. The government's not controlling the weather, folks. Okay? Don't let anybody try to convince you of that. Because they're full of shit. Have a good day, folks.